It's the Fo Yo 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 Games. Alright, sadly, this is the last Tenshoku video for a while. I wish I could show you these beta cards, but I can't for reasons. But the last bit of cards in the Gamma set include supplemental cards for the beta set. So, moral of the story, it's just buy the beta and the Gamma, or just buy the Gamma, buy something, and then check out all the cards that you can't see, I guess. Alright, but anyway, for today we'll start with the supplementary cards that supplement the beta set. Starting off with the Fabled faction. Yeah, which we did not touch on in the Gamma set. But anyway, this first card right here, Unbound Enlightenment, for one generic, and it's in Fabled card and Addition Zone. Enter, draw a card, and spend one and tap. Produce a resource of any attribute. Banish this card, put a legend counter on your ruler. A nice all-around card. Then Memento Mori. One generic, Fabled, spell instant. Destroy target card in a standby zone. This card can't be chased. Essential. Aetherbind, 2 generic, Fabled, spell instant. As an additional cost to play this card, remove target card in a graveyard from the game. Cards with the same name as the card removed to play this card in any zone can't activate effects until the end of the next turn. Counter all activated effects whose source shares that name. Complicated. Right. And then another Fabled, Shinra Tensei, 2 generic, and Addition Zone. As this card comes into play, name a ruler. The named ruler loses non-activated and non-automatic effects. Banish this card, put target legend face up into the legend deck. Nice. Bounce a legend. When you control 2 or more Shinra Tensei, banish all but one of them. So legendary. Another Fabled, Fables of Kenshi Tenshi, 2-drop generic, spell instant. All non-angel and non-fallen angel resonators lose all effects in all zones until end of turn. The attack and defense of all resonators become their printed attack and defense. If this card was awakened, put a fallen angel from your hand into play. And awakening, banish 3 divine and or fallen resonators. Go. And here we go into another faction, Divine. So, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards of each faction. Or something like that. Divine. Isham of Nero. 3 generic cost, 7/7, res angel. Enter target L/res, gain swiftness until end of turn. Prime Material Seraph. 5-drop generic. 9/9, res angel / fallen angel. If a spell or effect would cause any player to lose life, that player gains that much life instead. Whenever an entity is targeted by a spell or effect, you may discard a card. If you do, the targeted entity gains eternal until end of turn. Nice. Shamsiel, Angel of the Morning. 5 generic, divine. 1 10/12, res angel, flying, L/resonators can't activate effects in any zone. Cool. Shaquille, Angel of the Skies. 6 generic, 11/11, divine, res angel, flying, enter, put a divine counter from your hand. Put a divine resonator from your hand into play, then it gains dash, and at end of turn, return this card to your hand. Cool. Israfil, the Divine Herald. Big 8-drop. Generic, 14/14. Res Angel. Enter, you gain 1,000 life. Whenever this card attacks, your opponent puts 4 -1/-1 counters on each L/res they control, then loses 400 life. Playing a violin. Fantastic art. Captain Fu, Retired Light Lord. Okay, different faction we haven't seen before. One white, one red, 6/6 Light Lord Tau. A Resonator Angel. Man, you know what? And I'm gonna just go ahead and shoot this. Let me see. A Resonator Angel / Warrior. If you would search, you may skip that search instead. When you skip a search this way, choose one. This card deals 400 damage to target Resonator. Target Resonator gets +4/+4 till end of turn. Destroy target addition. You gain 800 life. Cool. And this one is not Light Lord Tau. This card coming up is Oracle Keeper. Pernicious Tactics. Green and a black addition zone. Spin X generic. Destroy each non-legend, non-resource entity with total cost X or less. Boy white. Hyperia's Tactics. One white. Light Lord. Spell instant. Shatter. Resonators your opponent controls lose all effects until end of turn. This effect can't be chased. Rest target Resonator, then gain life equal to its attack. Draw a card. Battle Saint's Wrath. Light Lord, white and a generic. Spell normal. As an additional cost to play this card, remove a Light Lord card from your hand or field from the game. Remove target Resonator from the game. Okay, Light Lord, Hyperia the Successor. 2-drop, 1 yellow, 5/5. Light Lord. Res Adventurer, Drain, which is lifelink. Busting the gun, rifle, something like that. Enter, remove another target Resonator from the game. Return it to play under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end phase. Pay 400 life, remove a Life Lord spell in your graveyard from the game. Put a copy of the spell removed this way on the chase without paying its cost. This effect may only be used by a card with the same name once per turn. Tau. Tau Empire Demon Flame. 1 red. And it's an addition zone. Enter, this card deals damage equal to the highest attack among Resonators you control to target Resonator. This card may count as 2 additions for effects that rest or banish 2 additions you control. The Resonator you control gets +1/+1. Oath of the Tau Empire. 1 red, 1 generic, Tau. And addition zone. At the start of each player's turn, if the turn player controls fewer Resonators than their opponent, the turn player may reveal cards from the top of their deck until they reveal a Resonator. If they do, that player gains that Resonator into play. That player puts that Resonator into play, and all other cards revealed this way on the bottom of their deck in a random order. Tau Resonators you control get +1/+1. Royal Empress Heir. Tau. 1 red, 1 colorless, 3/7. Red's Dark Elf / Princess. Whenever a Resonator comes into play under your opponent's control, this card does 200 damage to your opponent. Maiden of Love. Phantom. 0/2. Red's Maiden. Enter, draw a card. Tap, banish this card. Search for Queen of Paradise and put it into play. Activate this effect once. Only during main phase. When this card is banished, draw a card. Plotting Princess. 2-drop, 1 blue. Phantom, 8/8. Res Princess. Enter, you may exchange control of this card and up to 1 target Resonator and opponent controls. If you don't, banish this card unless you pay 1. Queen of Paradise. Phantom, 2 blue, 5/5, Red's Queen. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to this card during your turn. This card gets +1/+1 for each card in your hand. And discard 3 cards. Gain control of target Resonator. Activate this effect only if you control no Resonators your opponent owns and only during main timing. Beauty of the Woods. Oracle, 0/4, Resonator Maiden. Enter. Put up to 1 target card in your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. All Resonators' attack becomes equal to their defense. Sanctuary Guardian Till. Oracle, 2 green, 6/6, Res Elf / Warrior. If there are no resonators in your graveyard and you control no resonators, you may pay 2 green less to play this card. If a non-resource entity would produce a resource, it produces nothing instead. No elves around here. Well, I mean, it is an elf, but no magic elves around here. Outer World Elf, Oracle. 3, 2 green, 7/5, res elf / maze. At the end of your turn, when this card is in your removed area, put this card into play. Last will, you may pay 1 green. If you do, search for a Outer World Elf and put it into play. Undying Keeper Ixtil. Yeah, that looks like what's her name from Foul. Keeper. 1 black, 1 generic, 6/2, res dark elf, white guard. Swiftness. At the beginning of your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you may remove another dark resonator in your graveyard from the game. If you do, put this card from your graveyard into play. At the end of your turn, banish this card. Tsuyumi, Keeper of Justice. Keeper. 2 black. Whoa. 6/6, res android, white guard, shatter. Put this card into your hand. If a res would come into play with a total cost greater than the number of resources its owner controls, remove it from the game instead. Whenever an opponent plays a spell and no resources was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Shrine of the Guardians, Keeper. 1 black, 1 generic, and a distant zone, shatter. Put this card into play. Banish this card. Counter target resonator activated or automatic effects. If the source of that effect is in play, destroy it, and activate this effect only if you control a keeper resonator. 0 to pay. Choose a number between 1 and 6. Target resonator you control's total cost becomes equal to the chosen number until end of turn. Yeah, I mean, why not choose 1 every time? Yeah, I mean, why would you not pick 1 every time? I don't know. All right, yeah, and that has been Tenshoku Gamma Set. And like I say, I have not showed you the beta set, so check it out on the Tenshoku site. And until we come out with whenever Jeff comes out with the Delta set, I'm sure we'll be going over those too. All right. How we gonna end this? Scissors.